Few competitors so far have been able to take on Elon Musk's SpaceX in the internet satellite business. Starlink has now nearly 11,000 satellites in orbit. Jeff Bezos aims to launch more than 5,000 with his company Blue Origin starting next year. Yet, one entrepreneur from New Zealand is looking to get into the game and compete with them. Peter Beck founded Rocket Lab in 2006. Its Electron rocket has carried out nearly 100 successful launches so far. Now the company's cut an $8 billion deal to buy Irittium, a satellite communications firm. The acquisition puts it in position to develop a satellite network of its own. Sir Peter Beck, the founder and CEO of Rocket Lab, joins me now. Good to have you. Thanks so much for joining.
Oh, thanks very much. Much appreciated.
So, listen, Irittium's been around a long time. It's not an insignificant satellite network, but it's 66 satellites, if I believe I have that right. Starlink has nearly 11,000. Bezos is aiming for 5,000 starting next year. Can you compete in that space with them? And how quickly do you think you could ramp up?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, our intention is actually not to compete directly with internet from space. I think, as you point out, that is a very well served market. But our intention here is to provide services that are life-saving and critical services that Irittium has done really successfully for the last couple of decades. But I think the real kind of acceleration here is, Rocket Lab is an end-to-end space company. We build a tremendous number of spacecraft, and as you pointed out, we have our own launch vehicles. And I think the really large space companies of the future, it's going to be a little bit blurry about what is a space company and what is not. And our intention here is obviously to grow that constellation, but not to compete directly with internet services, but all the emergency services and defense services that are relied on intently. We're looking to grow and expand those. And I think one of the things that the acquisition brings us is spectrum. And you can have as much aspiration as you want, but if you don't have spectrum, you can't really provide those services.
If that's the focus, the emergency services, and I know stories of where Irittium has saved people, right, in places where normally you wouldn't be able to get a signal out, of course. How big is that market? Like, what does that grow to over time?
Yeah, no, it's a really substantial market, and without trying to get too technical here, the spectrum that Irittium has is an L-band spectrum, and what that basically means is that opposed to normal broadband spectrum, it can penetrate bad weather into buildings and all those kinds of things. So our intentions here aren't just to provide basic services. I think over time, with the ability to launch and build the constellation at will, we can increase the penetration of those services and really provide something new and unique that hasn't been seen before.
Well, like SpaceX, Rocket Lab has secured defense contracts, a $1 billion U.S. defense contract this year alone, $397 million Space Force contract tied to missile and threat tracking. What portion of Rocket Lab's business do you expect to be for the defense industry?
Yeah, typically it's been about 50%. 50% government, 50% commercial. Mm-hmm. What I would say is that the traditional kind of primes that have provided these backbones for national security, it's a little bit of a more challenging environment, because obviously the administration today is about execution. The age of cost plus contracts is fast evaporating in favour of firm fixed price contracts and proven execution. And I think that's where we've been really successful. As you pointed out, we've won a number of really important national security programs and executing well on them, and continue to do so. So, like I say, about 50% of our business. But if you look at the commercial, the other remaining 50% of the commercial side of our business, you don't have to peel the onion too many layers to find that often the government customers are providing are the customers of those commercial services as well.
Is this partly, particularly when you bring in, say, the U.S. Defense Department, is this partly about spreading out the risk? Because I've done some reporting of my own on how Russia and China, North Korea, Iran have deployed or tested space weapons designed to either destroy or blind critical satellites there. I imagine the more you have, the harder it is to do, right? I mean, is that part of the strategy, quite deliberately?
Exactly right. Mm-hmm. Exactly right. I mean, if you roll the clock back sort of, a couple of decades, singular large geostationary satellites in orbit were providing the majority of these kind of services. But, if you're proliferated in low Earth orbit, and moreover, if you take a low Earth orbit satellite down and one goes back up, it's kind of pointless. I mean, a good example of that is we completed the Victus Hayes mission for the Space Force here a few weeks ago. And, that mission, they gave us a call up and we had 24 hours to deploy a satellite in orbit. And, after that, we received that call in 16 hours and 42 minutes, we had a satellite on orbit. So, wow. You can take as many satellites out as you want out of orbit, but if you can put them up every 16 hours or less, then it's kind of a pointless exercise to even try to take them out.
Wow, that's such a change in such a short period of time. Well, Sir Peter Beck, we wish you luck. Thanks so much for joining.